As someone who was a pretty big fan of Elon Musk up until a couple of years ago, it's pretty painful to make this video.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
But the truth is, the man that we used to know and respect is now long gone. Or maybe, as it would seem to be the case now, that man we respected never truly existed. Now all of that fake bullshit that we kept buying for over a decade is being exposed right in front of our very eyes, and we're seeing his true colors. The more we find out about Elon, the more we come to realize that this grandiose persona of a man who cares deeply about the health and well-being of the planet was fake. And it was all just a ploy to get people like you and me to drink the Kool-Aid. Elon Musk is, or maybe now, was, the richest man to have ever lived in all of civilization. And no, that point about him being the richest person of all time is not an exaggeration one bit. There have been some calculations done to compare his peak wealth to some of the wealthiest people of all time, including the likes of Mansa Musa and John D. fucking Rockefeller. And somehow Elon Musk was said to be richer than all of those men at the peak of their wealth. We're talking about African kings here with gold piled sky high and Gilded Age capitalists with essentially zero regulation. Despite that, Elon Musk is now losing billions and billions of dollars every single day, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping. So far, he's lost over $125 billion in just the last 3 months since President Trump took office. And the main reason for this precipitous decline has been his descent into alt-right madness, or at this point, and has devolved further into fully blown neo-Nazism. It all basically started when Elon Musk purchased Twitter. When that happened, he essentially destabilized one of the most crucial ecosystems for communication on the planet. He changed the name of Twitter, fired 95% of the staff, and essentially turned the entire thing into his own personal propaganda machine. The feeds on the app were much different than what they used to be. Suddenly, feeds were filled with overwhelming swaths of racist content, right-wing propaganda, and misinformation that nobody signed up for. This created an echo chamber that Elon Musk wrapped himself up in, and it caused one of the greatest downfalls to anyone we have ever seen in modern history. One of the first signs of him slipping into a pit of absolute madness was when he started tweeting and retweeting anti-Semitic rhetoric. He replied, "You have said the actual truth," to an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that was posted on X, appearing to agree that Jewish people were essentially stoking white hatred. For those who don't know, part of this new neo-Nazi movement is centered around the idea that Jews want to erase white people and replace them with Jews and other minority groups. Once Elon tweeted this, he lost an enormous amount of sponsorships on the platform. Disney, Apple, IBM, and others swiftly pulled their advertising from X in protest. Elon then attempted to apologize for his tweet, but then he lashed out at the advertisers yet again, saying,
"Go yourself. If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself." Is that clear?
But it wasn't just these quote-unquote woke corporations. Edison research found that Twitter users in the United States declined by 30% between the years of 2023 and 2024. As much as Elon might try to make it seem like it's only these massive corporations who care, that is simply not the case. Rather than sitting in a cesspool of neo-Nazi bullshit, they're leaving en masse and going elsewhere. And yes, it is a cesspool indeed. Some of the most extreme despicable far-right figures in the world have been given a safe haven to essentially keep funneling their propaganda down everybody's throat risk-free. Then after years of portraying himself as a politically moderate person, by 2024 he had fully endorsed Trump for his presidency. At first, Elon claimed that he was a neutral guy and he could never see himself involving himself in politics, ever. But that ship sailed faster than any SpaceX rocket could have dreamed of sailing. Not only did Elon publicly endorse Trump at the highest level by tweeting about him 24/7 and speaking about him in every interview he ever went on, he also joined his campaign trail and even helped finance Trump's 2024 campaign by sending over $280 million. To us, that's a ton of money, but for Elon Musk, it was literally just a drop in the bucket. And it resulted in Trump winning the election, due in large part to this manipulation from Elon Musk. Although Trump and Elon make it seem like this was a landslide victory, this election was fairly close, with 77.3 million votes for Trump and about 75 million for Kamala Harris. So it's pretty clear to say that Elon's input could have been that final catalyst to push Trump over the edge into this victory. But now Elon has started going even far beyond just manipulating the United States. Internationally, Elon shocked everybody yet again by endorsing Germany's far-right AfD party, which is basically Germany's neo-Nazi party. Despite all the bullshit that Elon Musk might try to peddle, it's pretty obvious that this group is centered around neo-Nazism, and it's wildly unpopular in Germany. More than 80% of Germans vehemently disagree with the AfD rhetoric, and Germans have been outraged over Elon and this AfD party started to take root. And they're even protesting in the streets over this stuff. Elon is also facing strong backlash in other European nations as well for the same reason. Folks in the UK, France, Spain, and even other countries that are extremely conservative like Hungary have seen people take to the streets with their discontent for Elon Musk and these billionaire elites that are seemingly trying to destroy the planet.
Well, what began as a grassroots campaign in the United States has seemingly taken root right here in the UK. Now, the organisers behind the Tesla takedown protest say they want to stop Elon Musk using his vast wealth and social media influence to support the agenda of Donald Trump and far-right figures in the UK.
But potentially the singular most impactful moment of this suicidal run by Elon Musk was his quote-unquote Roman salute that he pulled off. Which, let's be fucking real, it was just a Nazi salute plain as day. I mean, it can't really get any more obvious than that. If you had asked him to just do a Nazi salute, I don't think he could have pulled it off any better than what he just did. I mean, I guess you could potentially write it off as him being autistic or whatever he tried to drum it up as, but the fact that Elon is simultaneously tweeting anti-Semitic rhetoric and also endorsing Germany's neo-Nazi party, it's essentially impossible to deny the reality at this point. This move right here has been plastered all over the United States and all over the world.
Dude, what happened to the fucking Twitter guy? I don't watch the news. That guy has lost his fucking mind. All those guys who died on D-Day, they were fighting Hitler. He literally sieged Heil. He didn't just Heil. You know, you can accidentally Heil. Hey! Oh, so, I didn't mean like that. But when you add the sieg, you meant it.
People on social media, traditional media, and even celebrities have been speaking out against this. People aren't fucking dumb, Elon. Stop treating us like we are. Sure, we haven't made over $400 billion, but we also weren't born into generational wealth due to an apartheid state profiting off of underpaid labor of emerald miners. Even after that salute, a lot of people were cutting Elon some slack. They kept generating excuses for this behavior out of their ass and giving him a pass for whatever he did. And let's be real, a lot of Americans secretly or even publicly align with this neo-Nazi ideology. But even the most far-right neo-Nazi racist Republicans of all time are starting to get fed up with Elon Musk once he essentially took office with Donald Trump. On day one, Elon Musk constructed DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Apparently, he was going to raid the entire federal government in search of waste, fraud, and abuse. But instead of doing that, Elon Musk found himself and his band of cronies, which are essentially a bunch of young dudes my age, swimming through everyone's personal data. Social security numbers, medical history, tax history, and all of that were basically exposed to these kids, and basically nobody has any idea what the hell they're doing with this information. And the FBI is now investigating whether national security was compromised by Elon's reckless mismanagement of data. And there is even some speculation surrounding whether or not Elon is even truly the head of DOGE, since he's not actually a government official. We got the richest man in history acting as a shadow puppet, pulling strings in all three branches of government under the guise of helping the common man. And instead of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, Elon Musk found himself gutting government contracts worth billions and billions of dollars to companies like Verizon, and then magically reallocating those funds to his own companies like Starlink. Regular citizens like you and I all pay the same taxes as we used to, or even higher for some people, but Elon Musk and his billionaire buddies get tax breaks and even get government contracts to them to line their own pockets with billions of dollars more. So the culmination of all these factors has led to what we now see today, a complete precipitous drop in Elon Musk's net worth and overall image as a human. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, he paid over $44 billion for it, and since then the valuation has dropped to just $9 billion. That's a minus $35 billion swing right there, which is more money than Phil Knight, who is the founder of fucking Nike. He lost more money than the guy who founded Nike has in general. On top of that, Elon has seen a sharp decline in Tesla's stock price as well, as we mentioned earlier. Apart from his social behavior, the Cybertruck was a massive flop. The promises of a futuristic truck that could function as a boat and basically tow anything better than an F-150 blew up in everyone's face. I mean, these trucks are built cheaper than some RC cars that you can buy at Hobby Lobby. And I mean, seriously, they've been blowing up. There have been several news stories about them spontaneously combusting for no apparent reason. Elon's new product blew up in his face, literally. Since Elon's public persona essentially went into the shitter, people have stopped buying Teslas and have started selling their Tesla stock as well. The brand once stood as a status symbol, embodying those who were environmentally conscious and wanted to help save the planet, but it's now seen as a symbol of hate and ignorance. Why the hell would Elon ditch this entire niche? He made billions of dollars off of those who want to value saving the planet. and he turned around to endorse a president and a political party that thinks climate change is a hoax. If you can't follow the logic, that would make two of us. That coupled with the raging protests at Tesla dealerships worldwide, it's no surprise to see investors pulling their plugs. Since reaching its peak price in December of 2024, Tesla stock has been dropping basically for 3 months straight. It went from $487 a share to just $235 at the time of this video, which is essentially halving the price. And to make matters worse for Elon, it's still selling off right now as I'm making this video. Large shareholders are fed up with his sporadic actions that bring a negative image to the Tesla organization, and it doesn't seem like he's even hit rock bottom yet. Elon currently shows no signs of stopping his current trajectory, and consumers show no sign of changing their habits. But as I said, it's not just individuals going after Elon. The EU has placed tariffs on EVs made in China, and of course, Elon has a gigafactory in China. And on top of that, Canadian ministers are on board with placing up to a 100% tariff on Teslas being imported to Canada.
You mentioned 100% tariffs on Teslas to hit Elon Musk. He owns a number of other companies. Obviously, there's Starlink. Would you ever consider canceling Canada's contracts with Starlink, for example?
Absolutely, and Canadian premiers have already said that they would do that.
Do you know how god-awful you have to be to have foreign leaders lining up to sanction you and you alone? I mean, the last time we saw this sort of global backlash against countries' leadership was when Putin and Russia illegally invaded Ukraine. But it seems like Elon is not deterred by any of this that's happening to him. His ego is so far gone, and he has basically no self-awareness at all or care for any of the harm that he's causing. He could lose 99.9% of his wealth and he'd still be one of the richest people alive. But empires don't fall overnight. The Roman Empire didn't collapse because of one bad emperor, one stupid war, or one single mistake. It fell because of arrogance, because of rot, because of people in charge believing that they were invincible right up until they weren't. And if Elon Musk's story tells us anything, it's that wealth, power, and influence don't make you untouchable. One day you're at the top of the world laughing at your critics, telling them to go fuck themselves, and the next you're clinging to your last scraps of respect as the world moves on without you. Elon Musk is living proof that no matter how much money you have, you can never buy respect or human decency. There is basically nothing he could do right now to save face, short of using all of his funds to, I don't know, end homelessness or something. Or maybe, just maybe, he could save Tesla by resigning, but nah. He'd rather pander to climate deniers and start a new civilization on Mars rather than saving this one.